on.
All right, well, it is time as we get into our next match here. It's going to be match number 29 as we go to Miramar here, and all of our teams are ready. So thank you very much for tuning in here, as brought to you with PUBG and StarLadder in coordination, as we head over to Pansy and Demon for all of the action.
Thank you very much. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Day 2 underway here at week 3. There's going to be a lot of weeks to go still. And it does mean there's a hell of a lot of points up for grabs. It is a pretty central plane. It means most teams will be able to find their default loot locations. Everybody bailing out at the expected spots. Navi will be back up north, so we'll raise your edge, TSM, etc., etc. And Lauren, I think we've got a standard day. Do you think we'll ever go down to that little island?
I pray it'll happen. I feel as though something in the circle settings denies my joy and happiness. But I'd love to see it. I just love the idea of something completely different, because you get to see teams having to fully change up. You don't have a script for that sort of place. You don't have that kind of.
It's not practiced.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I always think it's really fun because you get to see teams at their core, at what they can really bring. I love that random element, which obviously every team hates. So don't ever come to me for ideas.
There's a worry for me. Obviously, we're week 3. Next week is going to be the halfway marker. We're starting to approach it,
aren't you?
And you got to start thinking. Teams down not only obviously the top 5. We're talking about they're going to the GLL. Global Summit, but
tried. That's the circle trying.
It almost. I mean, it'd have to take a couple of hard shifts to keep on going down there towards Los Higos. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to quite do it. But this is a good circle for FaZe Clan. But what I want to say is, while we're talking about the top 5, I want to talk about the bottom 4, because Unity had the best day as anyone with 48 points.
Yes.
That puts Reciprocity a long way behind now because of the fact that Unity had that big game.
They need one good game, Reciprocity. And I think not just... I don't...
They need a lot of good games. They're 30-plus points behind. It's 15th place.
XC needs a good game. And as much as I agree, obviously, for points... They need that, but as a team, you need to feel like you can win. And I feel like that's the problem that's hindering them right now, is they finally have a bit of flow.
We saw moments last week, right?
They were like, Scoom had a really good game, but they need everyone to have a good game.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to kind of do that just yet. And I think they need to feel as though it's possible. And I think at the moment,
the confidence,
they're kind of stuck.
etc.
They're stuck in that position where it feels like no matter what they do, they're just not there yet. If they're able to shake that off at some point, you might see a different side. But for now, they're kind of stuck in the rut. I do hope they can get out of it, because they are a great team. They have individuals who are very good. I just don't think they're gelling well as a collective yet.
Well, we even heard it from TSM yesterday when they got their first victory. Like, despite the fact they're up in 4th, 5th place,
they're well in the top 5. Yeah,
they've had consistent results, but it was their first win. They said, we've always been confident, but we finally got that first win. It's like that. It's a
huge mental change. Yeah. It's a huge mental change. You look at teams in other games that always finish second place or always lost in the finals, even if they had the huge advantage. It happens. Teams have these kind of hang-ups and these kind of things that can really hinder them that are purely mental sometimes. It's just that late-game decision-making that can seriously hinder teams. Now, I don't think Reciprocity are there yet. I think TSM were the pinnacle of that example, that they were consistently finishing top 3, top 4, always playing well until those final moments where they just shied away. We finally saw yesterday them really taking matters into their own hands and actually becoming the team that we wanted them to be.
Yeah, definitely starting to step it up. And they had some big games yesterday. They were almost there with the win that Team Liquid stole from them. So they were very close yesterday to the double victory. So definitely stepping things up. CrowCrowd, they've been having themselves some pretty decent results
Team
in
Liquid
that top 8 as well. Team Liquid,
wow.
Well, I mean, we're at the 4-minute mark.
The
plane was directly over them.
It was, yeah. They've been able to loot, but I mean, that's... I guess if you look at what's going to be available, right? So the southern side probably not going to happen because it's got so much water in it. The western side has that huge hill, which it generally will move away from. So I think they're going to try and really just go for early positioning. And it looks like DA might have considered that as a FaZe. A lot of scouts are heading to this area. You can see on either side here, very close by.
So FaZe have picked up 2 victories in this Ladrilla area. So that's probably why, I mean, we're seeing FuzzFace is already there. Looks like they're going to go for the compound that's down in the ditch. I would have thought, they would favor this one on the hill, which is what FuzzFace is at. So FuzzFace has got problems. He's got 3 members of Team Liquid on his compound. 80's coming across to try and help out. Team Vitality on the move. They're coming in behind Unity, but I want to see FuzzFace. I want to see what's happening there. Because Team Liquid have just pulled up on his compound, and it would be good to see if he was in trouble.
Yeah, he is in trouble, Lee. You know what? We found out. It was a mystery, and it's finally been lit up here. Smokes go down. He's trying to buy time for support to come in.
Jeez,
Or
he's
maybe
just
just
thrown a
buying
lot of
time.
smokes.
Honestly, he's probably just buying time to maybe try and find one
ENCE's
player.
come and join him. Looks like Mexi and Uber are still actually stuck over in Montenuevo, and they're taking shots themselves onto the Knights as they pass by. Fuzz will get caught out by a nade just
That's
as he was
unlucky.
coming out of a window,
Yeah, he missed the first jump on it. He kind of mispositioned on the first one. He probably actually would have been alive because of that. And now you've got to look at it this way.
They
The
gotta
rest
find
of
him.
FaZe were also trying to come over. So you've got another member of FaZe potentially isolated. So that's going to be another issue, is that one by one they're coming over to try and save the day, obviously, to try and help out.
Mexi got sniped
But it's
there.
dangerous. How did he get that? Fuzzface has been lost anyway, so they hopefully can just reconvene and pull themselves back together. I think a bit of a driving issue has happened as well.
That's what it is. So he did
Yeah.
so much damage to the car, it hit the tree, and then boom.
Kaboom.
Explosions are imminent. So FaZe a little late, and this is Team Liquid's early rotation that's caught them out here. They moved on 4 minutes. They went for that compound early. FaZe wanted it. They were trying to hold it, and Team Liquid have caught them off guard. So nice movement from them getting that central point. FaZe are going to come back down to the south spot and try and get to the other side of that ridge line in La Trilera. Reciprocity we're seeing they're going deep, deep south. They're going to swing around. They may bump into ENCE, judging by they're both on similar travels, similar paths going towards obviously where CrowCrowd are going to try and come in northwise to
I like
the side
CrowCrowd's
of...
rotation there, actually. It's quiet. That's why I like it.
It is a quiet, yeah.
It's going to be quiet on the way in.
With the way the playing path went, obviously it's pretty much dead central down the bottom. They know there's really only M19. They're going to be somewhere along that southern area because they're Valle del Mar sort of based. Winstrike doing almost a similar type of run because they're going on the far western side.
Yep.
Making sure they avoid FaZe Clan. And the Knights, they probably don't realize the Knights are over there, and that may be a similar territory that they're looking to go to.
Yeah, and you can always see the likely compounds that we see circles often moving towards, because there are parameters that we tend to notice it favors. So already a couple of teams getting to them very swiftly. That's what Fuzzface, Liquid, DA, Unity, all of these sort of teams are really quickly trying to get towards. The Knights mostly holding on the west there near Winstrike, so I wonder if they're going to have a little bit of a clash. If they potentially get a spot towards it, they may just completely go past each other. That could be a whole other factor, but for now it does seem a couple of shots will be happening on that western side as G2. I'm never worried about G2 on late rotations. This is where they live, this is where they thrive. Sitting again well within that top 5 position. Chris had a little nap at the start of the day, so he's probably feeling great.
Risky move from Drayden, by the way. Bearing in mind that they're trying to go for obviously the 2-2, but the fact is they've lost Snark already. So Drayden's on his own. And I see, what, 3 teams almost heading towards his same location. CrowCrowd coming in there, Winstrike coming that way. CrowCrowd are going to be right on the back of Drayden. Yep, there he is.
This is weird timing for CrowCrowd to swing up that far north. I'm surprised they're sticking to the main road. Yeah, Sets trying to veer off course, maybe use a little bit of the terrain to get around, but it's late to be coming in this central because you know everyone's going to opt for this. When you see circles like this, you'll know that people are really up for it. So this is a very risky run for CrowCrowd. They're maybe just banking on getting maybe hillside or something smaller, maybe not one of the more prime positions. And ENCE very alone as well.
Yeah, he saw Set there, so everybody's trying to get a little more central. Of course, we've seen a lot of hard shifts, so not always the best location, but CrowCrowd just getting a little close. ENCE trying to keep them away. Sets back on his bike. He's going to go and join his team. Drayden's found Tab, and that is going to be a flush point. So Drayden going solo has worked out so far. Senpai down low. May even spin around and take some shots on him.
Well, that's
Getting hit from
Tixu.
yeah, Tixu, I think.
Look
yeah,
how
on the
far that
hillside.
is. That's a nice shot. Never easy, especially with the terrain, but it looks like M19 have caught off Reciprocity.
They pulled right into M19. Reciprocity, what are you doing? You can't come in that late and sort of look towards those compounds. They're coming in so late. They need to play like G2. If they're coming in this late and taking such a deep swing, they would need to be looking on the edge game and then work their way in. Now they can come across. Valle del Mar is
would be
open territory.
lovely. I would love to see an ending here because these hillsides, this is when you're going to really start talking about terrain, verticality, because it's quite steep on this area. You've got a lot of kind of top-end hills. And obviously the Valle del Mar is very low down. It's on the lower ground with that big bridge running across it. But this is a bit of a rarity, this circle. We do see it occasionally in the western side, but this continuing to have a little bit of a southern pull is going to be quite interesting. It looks like Reels has had a problem.
Team Liquid are coming up
because,
right
yeah,
next to them.
exactly. Jeems and the boys are coming in. I'm sure they'll hear this soon.
I think they're the ones that maybe took the shot here. They're going to just pass on by. They're actually getting shots
Oh,
at.
no, they actually could be in trouble. This could get turned against them. Nicely handled by whoever's driving that bike, or riding it, should I say. They've managed to kind of, one, stay away from
Didn't
potentially
kickflip as they
FaZe or
go.
whoever it was. Yeah, exactly. Putting some style in it. Now, Ibby and Sam team may not have such luck. Can't traverse this terrain so well. And the call's probably made that, hey, this is clear. We just made it through, and it is definitely not clear.
Yeah.
Wanted and Reals were laying in wait.
I mean, that's just a little unlucky, right? They've caught EB out as well, so that's Team Liquid down 2. And that's purely a case of that bike going one side of the ridge, and the Knights would just revive in Reals on the other side of it. And that's just how minute the details can be when you're scouting.
Now, Na'Vi have taken over a wonderful spot. I think Unity might fight them for it eventually, but Na'Vi can completely control the west. Everything is theirs out there. Winstrike on the hill in the middle, and then following off the east is just every other team. Raise Your Edge, TSM, still late to this. G2, same again. But maybe that's the play style they're implementing here.
FaZe, Reciprocity and M19 are kind of wedging in to each other. ENCE does finally come in. Oh, TSM, that's such a wide swing, isn't it?
Yeah, it
TSM,
really is.
that's a really deep, and you can see the blue on them. G2 will be coming in just ahead of them as well. I think he did.
Yeah, he's trying to nudge it off. Oh, God, that's always awkward, isn't it? That's never good.
It's great because everybody does it in public, and you're saying the pros will never do that. Well, they do.
There it is. Yeah.
There we go. Unity coming in right out on the western side. Need to avoid Na'Vi, who are holding that ridge line as well. Here's M19. They've got Reciprocity down south, and you can see just on the mini-map, you've got FaZe the other side. So kind of sandwiched between the two at the moment.
And I'm glad you highlighted that, because that's the verticality of this area that I was talking about, is the topography comes to play. Everyone's kind of safe unless they move up further, right? But it looks like they're very, very dangerous to each other. But for now, they're actually okay. Unity have really turned up right next to Na'Vi. And obviously, Senya's heard, seen this. He's called out to everyone else, the other 3 members. Guys, get ready. Oh, and they've got a good angle on this. They've seen Senya too.
He gets himself down low enough, and Pokemon will pick off those 2 that tried to pull up. So Blast on down. He doesn't have an angle, I don't think, to flush him out there. Unity kind of very much spread. This is way out west. Winstrike having a look. They're looking this direction. So yeah, they are up on the top of the ridge line, so don't forget. So they might have an angle. Smokes deployed, so Tizram should be able to get Blast on back on his feet without too many problems there. And I think, I did hear a couple of pings on the car, but I think the tires should be safe.
Yeah, I don't think they're in too much trouble of that. I'm wondering to see if they get another angle. It looks like there's other people they're fighting as well. Bestolch is getting a couple of shots towards Winstrike as well, so he's going to be fighting several fronts. If he crested that hill now, the circle comes in soon enough. Again. Yeah, Blaston is bleeding out so quickly. It looks like Unity have been bullied away from this. And again, centralizing enough slightly towards the west more than the east, but it's kept in Valdemar, so that's interesting. We've got a little bit of a run on this.
This east is nasty. So we saw already the ridge line. We got FaZe, M19, Reciprocity. There's no really where else to go because that's just a big sheer cliff. It means everyone's going to be forced into this funnel into Valdemar, which is going to be NIP. I think DA maybe try and go over the top in towards FaZe Clan. NIP almost certainly going to try and get in down towards Valdemar. ENCE have gone into Valdemar. G2 are just outside of Valdemar. Vitality are right by Valdemar. And Raise Your Head somehow have got to find a route. I reckon they may even swing north.
I don't know what their plan is. Terrain is not kind in this area either. It's not easy to traverse. ENCE do manage to find a compound.
They tried to leave.
Quite close to Liquid, it looks like.
Yeah, they came out and they tried to go to that compound that TL were in.
Yeah, because I saw that they were down there already. They'd been in this area for a while, and my word, TSM took a bit of a prison tour.
They've rotated so much. They were with us. They hoped it went over to the island, but it hasn't gone that way, no. Winstrike just avoiding a couple of shots. That's Winstrike and Unity both taking shots onto Na'Vi there as they take the wide swing around. And talking about the rotations, Vitality piling in. G2 also in there, TSM coming in. Valdemar is about to get very busy.
Yeah, TSM just going on the main road. This might be a little bit careless. I'm worried about this because I hope they're scouting it. Wookie Bookie just pulls up, and of course he goes down. ENCE of the right, Team Liquid of the left, and the crossfire is perfect.
They're going to Team Liquid.
Yeah, this is not great from TSM. They're just kind of haphazardly run across, maybe a little bit lacking focus or feeling the teams would be here. And the pull-up doesn't work. Rory, I think, might be your last one standing, if I'm not mistaken here.
Gustav's going to get around. Gustav's going to be the last man, but I think he's going straight up the hill in towards M19. ENCE shooting him in the back. There's not a lot that can happen. He's stuck behind that rock. If someone from M19 comes over the brow of the hill, they're going to see him. NIP pushing up on the backside of Reciprocity meanwhile as well. That's on the flip side of the hill. That's what I was talking about. There's not really a lot of movement. FaZe Clan, they're moving into Drayden. Drayden is on his own. The rest of the Knights wanted a Reals are completely away from him. So Drayden's in trouble. He's got 3 members of FaZe Clan crashing on his compound. They're up high and he's down low. I seem to remember this exact same compound.
I'm sure that he is. He's got fire from somewhere else. That might be Winstrike maybe doing that because they've got an angle on that side. Oh, and Raffi, this is dangerous. Vard's nade could do very well here. Clearing as he goes. Scar to hand. Raffi going to be peeking that ridgeline, praying they show a little and he gets a 1v1 out of this, but the rest of his team aren't that close by. There's the next nade, and, well, nice headshot from Raffi. Excellent trade from Gaxi, though. That's the more important thing here.
Oh, ripped his helmet off that one. That was a banging headshot. Shame the nade had done so much damage. Razor Edge and DA clashing also. You can see picture in picture. They come in. That is on the northeastern corner of the circle, if a circle has a corner. It doesn't really, but they're going to be pushing in. Door to door. They find Beautiful Death up high. They've got to deal with Mithrain. Mithrain's just popped a molly off. Drop on the other side to try and keep them away. He's going to try and force them off. He gets Sigsy down. Can he get more? No, he got Fast Rail down as well.
Good trade. Razor Edge is still trading. This is all that matters. As long as their trades are effective, they can get the players back up. That was a really good take from them. Not easy. Okay, yeah, Mithrain's still a stand-in. Wasn't the full 4 for DA, but they did that, and that was really well played. They knew they had to get past this, but with the circle shifting further away. Oh, wait, are ENCE off?
Yeah, this is it. The circle shifted. So while that was happening, the circle shifted up into the northwestern side, and now Team Liquid have moved. So ENCE are already trying to move. G2 have moved as well. You can see NIP, they're pushing to the backside of Reciprocity. All of these teams are eastern side all have to make this cross. Not only across this hill, across the entire valley. It is disastrous for these guys.
Yeah, this is really rough. FaZe going to try and run it right past Team Liquid, and Jim says, no, that's 80, that's Uber. It's looking like a complete whitewash against them. As the kills aren't stolen, but MBS knows that Shiv's in there. Shiv has to look out the door, and he doesn't like what he sees.
This is very messy. There's so many teams getting involved in fights. Shiv tries to find one. Gaxi will take him down. That's going to be done and flushed as Reciprocity try desperately to find themselves a way across. But while NIP, they're just getting held up here. M19 is starting to make a move across the position, and they may get leapfrog ahead NIP here.
Yeah, first team down, Reciprocity. They had a bit of a disastrous game there. Razor Edge swinging way further north. Gonna actually find a decent compound, but the south is where the action is. It's G2, it's ENCE, and everyone's gonna have vision on this in some aspects. Look at this. ENCE right next to them. G2 all in one building.
Yeah, this is a nade waiting to happen, isn't it? This is not... They've got to be careful. They're on multiple layers. Obviously, you can tell it with the X-ray where they are. But ENCE, yeah, multiple angles, multiple positions. You can see Mexi, by the way, in that house. He's the last member of FaZe Clan as well. Na'Vi taking shots down the hillside. That's on Squeaky, just off to the right-hand side of your vision right now. So he's getting shots at us. Rustanmar is down by the rock there, so it's really hard. And look at that, you can see Vitality coming in behind. They have to move up the hill. They're not in the circle yet. Same with TSM, same with NIP, same with M19, same with Digital Athletics. All of these teams are moving in with the blue on the backs.
Yeah, this is so tricky. All of these compounds at least have one player. And there's a lot of these kind of, I guess, broken and beaten teams. Here's the trades coming in. Squeaky's the first to go down. That's Vitality moving up from the south. They're sweeping out of the main city that was left into this one. But TSM, the remaining man, Gustav, is making a hard work for NIP. That was a bit of a brutal fight earlier for TSM. They suffered between Liquid and ENCE, and he was the last man standing, so he is not in a hurry. But he's going to take names with him. That's a good bit of damage. Gustav is going off. That's 2. Is there a third to be found?
He's just trying to confirm them as well. He's going to cook that nade and toss it straight at MBS. That looked pretty good to me.
Oh, the headshot!
He caught the headshot as well. The nade takes him down to nothingness. One more cook from Gustav. That could take out NIP.
Oh, too far. Ooh. I thought that was it. I thought it had all happened. I thought he'd done it.
Well, the blue's on him. He's got to move here. MBS isn't not over yet. Just trying to go for the nade again. MBS is cooking it. He's waiting. That's a good nade. It's going towards him. It's caught him. And NIP wiped out by Gustav.
What a player, what a nuisance. That is your worst nightmare when you're sat in those sort of hills. Vitality on the move though, but look at this. Look at Mexi. M19 just down below. How much information do they have? I see a flashbang. It looks like they've got the right idea.
Trying to breach on him. Solo backed away from that one, expecting the push, expecting the angle, realizes one's got upstairs, goes for the shoulder peek, second one's going to push it up, it's going to be a trade, it doesn't matter, D-Match will take him down, FaZe Clan will follow NIP down in 14th position.
Yeah, this is nice seeing, though, so many individuals being a nuisance, teams having to breach compounds. Circle slightly east. As said, Vitality still stuck in the south. They're struggling here. This is not easy. Rustamar found Shadow, and it's G2 still have a potential to find this as well. Nikas is right by them.
G2 still all crammed in his house, but Vitality, yeah, this is a horrible position for them. There's nowhere to go to get up this hillside. Even if they deal with G2, you can see ENCE have actually got the flank. They actually flank it. They're acting as one solid team against them. You can see Mikaz, Rustamar, they all have the angles. Mikaz on the little flank around trying to work what he can. Na'Vi also looking down the hill and taking shots. You can see them just on the peak there. They're taking shots on the back of Mikaz, actually, and Shadow will finish him off. He had to dodge one side of the rock to avoid, and Na'Vi pushes into Vitality.
Look at this spot from Drayden. Which team got done over by this? Was it Reciprocity back in the day? I have a feeling Skoom died to this spot that Drayden's currently sat in, if I'm not mistaken. That's something to look at down the line. You'll see that compound and be going, why are there two teams there? That is just purely him being a filthy little player. Now, positions in trouble. Raise your edge, Unity. These are the ones who now need to find a new spot. Shadow, obviously, still in a terrible spot.
Gustav, by the way. A Gustav update. He's actually got to the ditch along the roadside. He's still going.
Head out to the field to get an update from Gustav?
Gustav is just still going for TSM. He's sneaking what he can. The little in-game leader working wonders for them. G2, oh, they found Trifoli. Trifoli tried to make a move. Shadow's still going to get out of there. He's caught Brexco. Now that's the house. Can he make a push off this? No. Rustamar will put him down, acting as defenders for G2.
What a weird little three-way tie in this one. Unity were in the field. They're trying to work forward. Raise your edge, going to take the time now to try and move in. Good timing as well. That will at least mean that they're not spotted by Winstrike, but they have CrowCrowd to worry about. Kemba's definitely seeing this, and I don't know what sort of territory they're working with, what sort of angles they have, but maybe it's a bit of low ground, maybe there's a ditch.
Na'Vi are making a move. They're coming down the hillside, having a look towards G2. They saw the knock in the kill feed just as Trifoli did. Trifoli tried to pop a couple of nades in there. Pokemoldo and Aduzi both having a look at the angles to see if they can force something. It's bought time for Rustamar to try and get up this hillside, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out for him. Just to the side, you can see there's the shots. There's a doozy up on the hillside in the top left of your screen along with Pokemoldo. They're both taking shots down. So G2 almost surrounded. And of course, this is still one playing out on the edge of the circle. Unity are inside, by the way, in the northern edge as well. So whoever is inside, we'll see where the next circle goes.
Oh, this is naughty. Braxico, I think he's got an idea of this. So I thought Rustamar might have got the drop on G2 potentially here. Well, that could be just him going through the motions, Braxico. Is the timing right? That's the big question. Now Trifoli's gone down. Maybe you waited too long in this one. That could have been better. You had to do something. I mean, now he's fighting and it's just too late. The timing was off. He's on the low ground. This feels inevitable, whether it be M19, seeing him, Team Liquid. There's so many angles.
Na'Vi are moving on. Oh, they backed away from it, actually. So, like, they were looking to try and confirm it. They took shots. I think it was actually Kane that took a couple of hits in his back there, so he's had to go back in. You can see the yellow bullets, but they're trying to make the run. You see they're going across the road here? That is the circle. That road line is the circle. So G2 are going to have to move, and Na'Vi, they're going to be clashing. Massive clash in the north. It's CrowCrowd pushing on Raise Your Edge. It's all gone CrowCrowd's way.
Yeah, CrowCrowd had a lovely split. You look at Senpai's position. You look at how they adjusted for this one. They had support Drayden. Only good for one. You felt there could have been more.
At last.
But I've got to say, CrowCrowd, really nice position in the northeast. 2 in the compound, 1 on the hillside. Perfect complementary positioning there. Now, again, Unity are just catching no breaks. They've got to run again. And Winstrike still, bullet after bullet, laying into these boys. It's a rough ride now. Yeah, they're trying to work their way down the hillside. Na'Vi actually backing away from the G2 fight, so G2 will be free to move across. Team Liquid, by the way, I remember lost 2 right at the start. Hibby and Samty went out, but Gemty and Jeems are still sitting center compound. Sixmo back at his feet, but you can see he's instantly back down. Senpai's going to steal it away. No, Gemty got it. Oh, Unity, we're going to find Hello Senpai. So Unity will find themselves a break on the backside of CrowCrowd, but Winstrike are coming in behind them. Oh, Winstrike. How many teams? They got no kills. They've done so much damage, but no kills. Finally, Tixu gets one on the board. But that felt like a long time in the making. I'd love to see the damage in comparison to kills in this matchup especially. But Na'Vi are sweeping north. Now, Nuki's position is important. We talked about that hillside play from CrowCrowd. That's dissipated. I think Iroh's about to be called off too, so look for that in the kill feed. But Na'Vi are moving themselves in here. Nuki, Jaworski and Tixu could sandwich Na'Vi if it all plays out well, but it looks like an outnumber's about to happen as Nuki dips his head down and hopes for the best. I think Iroh's about to fall. DA looked to be probably going down in 9th place. He's trying to make his way down the hillside as Nuki desperately holds off.
4 very angry Russians working their way down the hill. He gets taken down. Tixu with the spray doesn't work out for him, and that may well cost them. They've got nowhere to go here. They're basically backs are against the fence as well. And in come the nades straight away. Jorski's going to get nailed down by that one. Bestos will collect himself the frag. Tixu's going to try and run away, but there's nowhere to go.
This is what scares me about Na'Vi in these games. When they get in this mindset, they become this kind of pack, the way they play it. And you've spotted something there, the 2-2 split from G2. Lovely in theory, but at this point, you look at the angles and that's deadly. Na'Vi have wiped out Winstrike, and I'm worried about this for G2. It's a good theoretical play, but with so many teams littering this hillside, those lines of sight just don't allow you that sort of freedom.
Do they have any nades to try and back it up? You saw them get the one down. CrowCrowd finish off Unity up in the hillside there. And the circle, by the way, has gone onto Team Liquid's compound. They are the only team in there. Of course it has. Iroh will be finished off. It's Pokémon that finds him. Kane will also get a knock on him. They just got him back on his feet there. Chris there. CrowCrowd, well, as you can see, it's open fields running for them. That's not really favorable. It's going to give Na'Vi yet more kills.
And can we have an update on the Gustav cam? It looks like we have Gustav all on his lonesome still, not surprising. This time behind M19, still down in the southeast. And the big story here is that M19 still have 4 players standing. There's not actually many of those teams left in this one. G2 barely holding on, and obviously Na'Vi still have their team.
Team Liquid opting to move out of the compound and go looking for the fight down on M19 I feel there. G2 trying to come up the road, but as you can see, it's a turkey shoot, and so Udyr and Brexico, the smokes go down, but a little too late
M19
for Udyr.
are on the way.
They're trying to go for it. So Jeems is going to be the solo man. Gentsy's actually backed away. D-Match is going to push straight on him. Gustav's also working his way across. He could be a little thorn in their side, and he will be. He gets Wanderer in the back,
my
and
God.
M19 have to spin around.
And Jeems just got
gets D-Match down as well, and Jeems suddenly causing all many problems. M19,
oh my God.
Who just got him? Brexico just took a shot on Gustav.
This is huge. This is actually insane.
Navi from M19.
Navi, everyone is piling in on M19. They tried to make a move, and everyone just said, not today.
Gustav again.
Gustav, you absolute animal. Who are you? Braxico's seen this. I'm pretty sure Braxico is going to ruin all of the
M19
fun.
are gone.
But M19
Wiped
just
out.
got absolutely wiped. Gustav finally falls, but what a stand he made.
Wow, he gets 4th place for TSM. Would you believe it? Solo play working wonders. NIP, I think, went down in 15th when Gustav took them out there. That's how
Mad.
big a difference it has been. So G2 left with 3 alive, but very spread. Na'Vi on the hillside. They have the dominant position. And Team Liquid, they just have this compound. That's really what's giving them the safety at the moment from Na'Vi.
It looks like we might be seeing Na'Vi getting back into that deadly form. Maybe an off week, yes, you know, before, but...
There's nothing that Kane and Chris can do to help out Brexico down there. He's
unless
using
they
those
have
smokes.
nades galore. I mean, you need 10+ grenades, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Don't really know what we were seeing there other than nade finishing. But we missed Brexico and Jeems dying, so that's wonderful. It does mean that Na'Vi click themselves 2 more
Are they
kills.
aware of G2? This is my one issue. I don't know how aware they are,
Yeah,
just purely because...
they've already shot them. They've already downed Kane
But
once.
Aduzi and Pokemon aren't watching this. And this is what happens when you don't watch it. This is
That's
an
a Mark
absolute
14.
mistake. And Chris has just found 2 of them. Na'Vi are on their knees now. You're down to Senya and Bestaloch, and they do not have positions to deal with G2.
And they actually pulled them away from Gempty. Gempty was about to get killed, and now he's suddenly alive.
He's
and
back in.
creeping back up the hillside. And now that was they'd already downed Kane. Like, Team Liquid had fired at him, and Na'Vi was shooting them. They just completely took the eye off the ball. Pokemon finished off by Kane there, and suddenly it's not Na'Vi's game. They had 4 alive. They were the dominant force.
That's a huge miscommunication from
Yeah.
Na'Vi. Huge. That is fundamentally a massive problem. And if you want to talk about emotional teams, that makes you tilt. A 4v2
Look at
v1.
Chris. Look at
now,
Chris.
Chris is up for it. Chris wants
He's
to play.
going
He's got the
center
MK.
circle. They have the center circle now. It's phase 8. They're looking towards the finish here, and Chris is plumb center. He has made the move across. Mark 14, he can rip people's heads off with that, and he wants to.
Gosh, they've got 12 kills though, Na'Vi. That's still a great deal to get past. So let's put this in perspective. Chris, slap bang center. He's having a great old time. He wants to fight everything and anything, but he has been spotted. Senya can deal with him, but can he do that without exposing himself to Gempty or Kane? That's the next issue.
No, it's Kane that is
and
spotted.
look at Senya's, where he's looking right now.
He's not seen
Senya
Chris.
has no idea where everyone is. They do not have full information right now.
They've not seen Chris at all. It was Kane that he spotted down at that rock. He's not seen Chris at all.
Really?
Yeah, it was Kane that he's just took a shot on. It's Chris. They don't know where Chris went because Chris made the move and went center, and he's just lying prone on the circle. It's going to force it. Navi are on the far side of this edge, so they're the ones that have to come down the hill. Gemti's still got this shack. He can wait till very much the last minute. Looks like Bestalosh wants to work his way around the eastern edge of the circle and maybe swing down that side. Yeah, they are. You can see Senya's leading him, so it's Gemti that they're going to lead to first. The question is, does Gemti see? Just had a little peek. Didn't have a vision, though. He's trying to use that little crack in the ceiling to find the position.
Senya, Bestaloch, Gemti up first. Gemti's got a perfect angle.
He's got a molly in his hand.
Okay, that's gone inside the building. Gemti should be okay. It does spread to about the stairs, but he's going to get the contact. Bestaloch gets tagged, but doesn't go down.
G2 are going to center up here. Chris is coming across. That gives... Oh, Gemti the cover he needed, but Senya catches him through the roof, I think it was there, and now they push up. They still don't know where Chris is. They see Kane, they see the nade, they're going to push towards Kane and try and find his position. Chris, the flank on the right-hand side of Senya any second now. He's just lying ready and waiting. The nade's going to come across, but Chris is waiting to strike.
Yeah, this is a filthy off angle from Chris. Bestaloch could go to this similar position, but he should have at least the first shot advantage. Chris just needs to hold his nerve. He has to hope that Senya does not spot him, and he doesn't. Senya is so focused. Chris, did he just let this go?
He messed it up. They thought the nade was going to catch him. Gives his position away. Still catches the headshot. Bestaloch, the last man standing in a 2v1. Looking to hold out. Gets the angle. Actually, bait comes out from Senya. Makes it a 1v1. And Kane's on 10 hit points.
I didn't see any meds either. I don't think he can heal this one off. I think he's just got bandages. So Kane's in real trouble. And Bestaloch is on the move. He's working his way down. Flashbang in hand. That's all Kane can pretty much depend upon. Going to get the last heal off. Flash goes in. The blues on the back, and sure, Kane has the position, but can he deliver the shot when it matters?
The blue's going to force Bestaloch to move. He has to go for it. He's got to push his rock. The question is, Kane, can he hold his nerve? Can he hold this? Saw the shadow. Bestaloch spots it. He knows he's on the left-hand side of the rock now, so he's going to push around the right, and Bestaloch now has the position. He has the angle. He just got caught. Oh, the headshot from Kane comes out, and G2 pick up their second victory here in Phase 2.